What up? What up? What up? Thank you for tuning into this episode here of Bengals post game reaction, brought to you by Impact Sports Cincinnati. My name is Chris Hasbrock, and I will be your host as always. Wow, I mean, this is just I swear I can't. It's this is really truly becoming comical, and everything that just happens to this team, I swear, like you can't make this stuff up. You simply cannot make this stuff up, and it's I mean what I'm telling you, folks. What can you say? I mean, what can you say? Why, oh, why, oh, why does this stuff have to continuously happen to the Cincinnati Bengals and the city of Cincinnati? I mean, unbelievable what we have seen so far. And it's just, I mean, I give up. I give up. I will say this, though. Watching the game, couple true reactions here from what I saw. Obviously, not having the preseason has really is not beneficial for a rookie quarterback in their first NFL game. It's just, having those reps would have been a lot nicer to have for Joe or for Joe Burrow. Plain and simple. He didn't have that. Obviously, this is a completely different year. This is brand new everything that we're experiencing here right now in the NFL. And Joe Burrow, I liked what I saw overall, plain and simple. I think this guy is going to he's the real deal. He's going to be okay. And, if you're a Bengals fan here and you're upset about what you saw from Joe Burrow today, I don't want to deal with you in this fan base. Joe Burrow's going to make mistakes. He's going to throw interceptions. He's going to get sacked. He's going to make bad throws. He's going to make fantastic throws. He's going to make great runs. He's going to lead us to some victories that we didn't think were going to be the case. This was a game that I thought the Bengals were going to come away with. I truly felt that this team had the victory and they were going to come away with it. Obviously, I mean, even 2020, the Bengals still can't pull off a win like that. This was a game, going into the season, over the last couple of weeks, I truly felt that the Bengals would finish anywhere from 6-10 to 9-7. There's a couple games in there, swing games, that I think that the team could obviously it could go either way. This was not one of those games. I felt the Bengals would come away with this victory against former San Diego Chargers, now Los Angeles Chargers, as they have been a couple years so far. But when it comes down to it, this one's a tough one. However, I still think in this game, I don't think the Bengals lose this game if DJ Reader stays in the game during that one drive. Overall, the defense, I was thrilled with what we saw from the defense. Overall, they did just a fantastic job. In my personal opinion, yeah, they made some plays. They did a great job of keeping the Chargers offense at bay. Didn't give them anything until that one drive where they carved apart the Bengals, run defense, and that was without DJ Reader. I'm still trying to find, some of the game log here on NFL.com, but so I'm trying to get some of the stats here, and it's not really quite working for me. But overall, team stats, we're actually not NFL.com does not want to give me those, so we're off to a great start here. Overall, Tyrod Taylor was 16 of 30 for 208 yards. Overall, I thought the Bengals did a good job. Mike Williams did. Mike Williams, who wasn't expected to win. My goodness, I'm so flustered from earlier. Mike Williams wasn't even expected to play in this game. He did come back. Obviously, before the game, they did announce that Mike Williams was going to be a part of this game, and he was. He was targeted 9 times. He hauled in 4 for 69 yards. The thing is, the Bengals still cannot cover a tight end to save their life. Hunter Henry was targeted 8 times. He hauled in 5 of those for 73 yards. That can't happen. again, a couple of those plays were huge, huge, gains, and they couldn't do anything with it. And it continued to give the Chargers momentum. Overall, Bengals still, like I said, I feel did a really good job of holding the Chargers to relatively nothing outside of the Joshua Kelly touchdown that he had, in the fourth quarter here. But overall, in terms of rushing, Austin Eckler was rushed 19 times for 84 yards, 4.4 yards per carry. Joshua Kelly, like I said, 12 rushes for 60 yards. He did have the one touchdown. Tyrod Taylor, 6 for 7, and then Justin Jackson, 2 for 4. Overall, again, the Bengals did, like I said, I felt a good job defensively. They were one of the worst defenses in the NFL last year. They managed to come back, and they spent the money in the offseason to make these to make these kind of situations not applicable here from last year to this year. And they went out and spent the money, brought in Von Bell, they brought in DJ Reader, Mike Daniels, all these guys, Mackenzie Alexander, Trey Waynes. They spent some serious money, and it's to me it's looking like it has paid off. Yeah, it didn't pay off in terms of a victory, but with that being the case, overall they put themselves in a great spot to get that victory. Unfortunately, it did not. It didn't come to fruition for Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals in this game. The tough one was, the interception that was, there were two plays that were killer. That was the interception and the fumble by Joe Mixon, who Kevin Harlan was going nuts that Joe Mixon never fumbles. Well, plain and simple, Joe Mixon just doesn't fumble. It was a great play there. Unfortunately, it happened to where, and of course, it falls right to Nick Vigil. I've been a Nick Vigil fan for a while. Nick Samina will confirm that. He always picked on me for it, but the funny thing is, we talked about going into this game that sure enough it would be Nick Vigil that would make a play and help the Chargers get the win. Well, sure as shit, that's what happens, and that's something you have to expect for the Bengals to have something like that happen. But again, if you look at the Bengals stat line here, Joe Burrow, 23 of 36, 193 yards, no touchdowns. He did have the one interception on a play that he was trying to force it into Gio Bernard. Again, rookie mistake. He did take a couple sacks that were rookie mistakes. However, good Lord, Jesus, Bobby Hart, you have got to step up your game. You are going to get Joe Burrow killed. Plain and simple, Bobby Hart, you are a human turnstile. I just get absolutely owned, and that's the kind of crap that we cannot have. We can't afford to have this happen. Bobby Hart, one thing we say is, Nick and I discuss Bengals every single day. At one point or another, we're talking Bengals football, and one thing that we have, we've come to the agreement on is the fact that, there's something that Jim Turner likes in Bobby Hart. And, I'm not going to fault a coach if a coach thinks he's going to get the best out of somebody. He obviously has a history with Bobby Hart, but Jesus, this has to stop. You have got to make a block and not let an all-pro defensive end come flying in and kill your quarterback. That cannot happen. Just cannot happen. Bobby Hart, you have got to step up and make a damn block when it matters. There were times that you saw when Joe Burrow had time to throw. My God, he's throwing laser beams. But there was also a couple times where he was off on his throws. That's going to happen. You have to expect it. The guy is a rookie quarterback. This is his first NFL game action period. He did not have any, and I repeat, any preseason games to get accustomed to the playbook in terms of how things in game situation, game timing. That those situations can only come, those only come in game game time. That's it. That's the only time. You can't mimic that in practice. It's not going to be the same as it would be in a game. That's just how it is. So, like I said, I did see a lot from Joe Burrow that I really did like. I loved it. I love his moxie. The dude's got a swagger to him. And I was saying to my brother-in-law here, at our family dinner that, what I love about Mixon, like I said, is the swagger, the moxie that he has. But if I were him, I'd have walked over and smacked the crap out of Bobby Hart after a couple of those hits that he took and say, you know what? Yeah, I command that huddle, and I might be a rookie, but Jesus, you're going to get me killed out here. And that's 100% on him. And but overall, again, what I saw, I loved. Rushing the ball, Joe Mixon, again, they had to get him going. That's going to help offset a lot of that pressure on Joe Burrow's shoulders. He just signed that huge contract. He comes out 19 rushes for 69 yards, an average of 3.6 per carry. Joe Mixon, he stepped it up in the second half. He did. He found, running lanes a little bit difficult to start off in the game, but was able to come back and, run the ball very effectively for the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow rushed 8 times for 46 yards, an average of 5.8 yards per carry, but he did have his very first touchdown on a 23-yard touchdown run. And congratulations, JFB, on your first NFL touchdown. Granted, you probably didn't expect it to be on the ground, but here we are. Top notch to you, kid. That was a great job, and it was a very professional run as well. If you saw when Burrow took off, he waited for Trey Hopkins to make that block, and he went off of that and off of his backside and took it in for the score. That's what you want to see. Very professional there. Again, it's this is this is a tough one. It's again, like I said, it's again you thought you were going to win. A.J. Green was the main guy for the Bengals. He was targeted the most by Joe Burrow 9 times. He did haul 5 in for 51 yards. C.J. Uzomah, which you would expect a tight end. Quarterback's going to look for their tight end. That's going to be one of their safety points there, and that's what we saw. With C.J. Uzomah and as I'm clicking over here to the stats here, Uzomah brought in 45 yards on 4 receptions. He was targeted 5 times. Same with Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd came up with a couple huge catches, 4 catches for 33 yards. Giovanni Bernard, 4 for 21. Mike Thomas, 2 for 17, had a couple huge ones. John Ross, John Ross he's the guy. And I saw this tweet from Jed Musi from Channel 12. Put it perfectly. You got to expect John Ross to bring in the high percentage pass, or he's going to drop that one with the low percentage, pass and the high percentage of a drop. He's going to haul in, and the easy passes he's going to drop, and that's what we saw by John Ross. Just continues to, there's times flashes of brilliance for John Ross. But again, it is what it is. Drew Sample, 1 reception for 7 yards, and Joe Mixon had 1 reception for 2 yards. Overall, again, the Joe Mixon fumble was crucial. That was a tough one there. I feel, when I look at the way things played out, again, this is you just I don't know. I'm trying to think of the easiest way to put it, but it's you see a lot of the positives here in this game. Even though it's a negative result, but you see a lot of the positives. Overall, the Bengals, like I said, just did a fantastic job. Let me see if NFL.com has finally put up the. I need the game. I need the game details, which would be fantastic, and I'm hoping they would actually have done that. Let's see. The Chargers are. Oh, that's an interesting stat. The Chargers are 3-0 all time versus the Bengals in Week 1 games. In all seriousness, should be 2-1. And of course, it doesn't work out here. Way to go, NFL, for putting up the the stats like I had hoped. But you look at the drive summary here for the scoring drives. Or let's just start off here. The first play was a 3-and-out, or the first drive for the Bengals was 3-and-out. The first quarter consisted of 6 punts, a touchdown, and a turnover on downs. So neither team was able to get really anything going in that first drive or in the first quarter on their first 3 drives. The Bengals defense. Like I said, this is where the Bengals defense really stepped up and made things difficult for Tyrod Taylor and the Los Angeles Chargers. After the Bengals go 3-and-out, they go 3 plays, 5 yards, and you got to punt. Chargers get it. They go 6 plays, only 17 yards. Force another punt. Bengals get it back, go 6 for 16, end up having a punt. It goes back 3-and-out, and then a 3-and-out again, and then another 3-and-out. But this is where the Bengals take the ball over. This is where they took advantage of the field position, and I got to give major props. Speaking of field position, I say it every single game that Kevin Huber is the guy. I mean, he's one of the top punters in the National Football League. Plain and simple, that he changes field position and flip flops it like that. It's absolutely incredible how he can flip that field position. And what he did was, he had a lot of massive punts that ended up in touchbacks, but there was a lot of stuff there with that. And like I said, those were huge punts that flipped that field position. Therefore, you're forcing the Chargers to go, 85, 80 yards, 90 yards, stuff like that to get a scoring, play there. And so that's crucial. And they ended up getting the, when they got the ball, when they scored on their touchdown drive, they started at the Chargers' 44-yard line. They went 39 plays in 39 yards on 5 plays, and that was obviously culminated in the Joe Burrow touchdown run. But then the Chargers go 7 plays, 35 yards, and then turn the ball over on downs. Then this is where the Bengals had to punt. But then the Chargers got the ball at the 20-yard line. They go 75 yards and get, on 11 plays, taking over 4 minutes off the clock, and they do get a field goal out of it. The Bengals then are forced to punt. Another turnover on downs. So that's 2 turnover on downs before the halftime, break there, where the Bengals were able to force the Chargers out of any scoring opportunity or even a chance to move forward with that. And so that's crucial right there. Then the Bengals, they unfortunately get the ball back, go 3-and-out again. And then the Chargers go 61 yards. And this is where this drive was a little frustrating. They go 61 yards in 33 seconds. Now, 33 yards of that was on one play to Hunter Henry right before the end of the half. And it ended up being 7-6 going into the half. So you're sitting there thinking, okay, how are we looking? And it's a little, you're curious to see how it's going to continue to play out. To start the half, the Chargers get the ball. They go 7 plays, 43 yards, just over 3 minutes. So it actually went 3 minutes and 20 seconds, and it ended in a missed field goal. So, all right, you're feeling better about yourself now if you're the Cincinnati Bengals. You're up 7-6. You go 7 plays, 29 yards, and you kick a 50-yard field goal by Randy Bullock. You're up 10-6. Next drive, boom, 3-and-out. You force them to punt, 3 plays, 2 yards. You get the ball back. They go 11 plays, 43 yards, and there you go. You get the field goal there, and then the Bengals were able to keep it going. And then you get the touchdown drive where they go 10 plays, 55 yards on that one. That drive culminated. There really wasn't too many big chunk plays outside of the pass. It was a 16-yard pass to Guyton, which, if you look at the drive, you had plays of 3, 3, 16, 4, 2, 6, 4, 8, 4, and then touchdown. So, you look at that, and it looks rough to start off. But there was a couple big chunk plays in there that the Bengals were able to take care of and not allow. Unfortunately, it did end up in the Chargers, getting in the end zone on the Kelly touchdown run from 5 yards out. And then 2 plays later, it's the fumble, and then the Bengals defense did simply phenomenal job. You get the ball at the 24-yard line, just outside of the red zone. And, you're getting all that momentum. The Bengals did a phenomenal job defensively of holding them to a field goal. They go 8 plays, 24 yards, and are unable to punch it in the end zone. Then you're thinking, okay, here we go. You're down 16-13, and this is the drive that really this was a bummer. You go 7 plays, 52 yards. You're driving down the field. Joe Burrow, you're thinking, okay, here we go. The Bengals are looking good on this drive. They're making things happen, looking good. Like I said, things are going well. And this is where Joe Burrow, he tried to do too much on this one. I don't know why he made the play he did. This is the one I don't understand it. It was intercepted by Ingram at the 24, where he was going, obviously, if you remember, you see Joe Burrow scrambling out to the left, and he goes and a little shovel pass to Gio Bernard, where Melvin Ingram was on him, covering him. So there was no way that was going to be a play that was going to be made by Gio Bernard. In that situation, Joe Burrow, I don't know what you're seeing there. That's probably somewhere, he's going to look back in film and say, you know what, hey, I should have just kept running. Again, rookie mistake, that's going to happen, unfortunately. That's just something you got to live with right now from a rookie who has not had a single snap in the NFL before today's game. So, again, that was tough, but then the Bengals hold them to a 3-and-out. So you're thinking, okay, here we are. Just over 3 minutes to go. Bengals are down 16-13. Let's make it happen. Let's get this victory. Bengals go 14 plays, 84 yards in just over 3 minutes and 6 seconds. 7-yard run by Joe Burrow on the very first play. 4-yard pass to Tyler Boyd. Then he goes 8 yards on a 2nd and 3 to Tyler Boyd. Then he goes a 15-yard pass over the middle to John Ross on a 2nd and 2. John Ross again, because he can't help himself, gets the penalty to move them back. Like I said, so now you're looking at 1st and 15, and it's a 7-yard run up the middle. Next pass, John Ross on the right side. John Ross, again, a pass that he should bring in. He is unable to haul it in. It's incomplete. It's 2nd and 8. That doesn't mean anything on that 2nd and 8 there. So 3rd and 8, after the Ross drop, after the officials went to the replay and confirmed that it wasn't complete, John Ross goes 10 yards on that 3rd and 8 to Tyler Boyd. There you go, 1st down. He goes deep right on the scramble out. He fires it to A.J. Green, missing. This is with a minute 17 to go. 12-yard pass then to Mike Thomas. It's, you're good there on 2nd and 10. You got a 1st down now. Now with 49 seconds left, you got no huddle. You're looking for, for things to continue to get rolling. 5-yard pass there, Joe Burrow. The no huddle gets it complete to Mike Thomas for 5 yards. Then another 6-yard pass on a no huddle to C.J. Uzomah. And then he spikes the ball to stop the clock. 10-yard pass then to Giovanni Bernard for 1st down. And then you're looking at 1st and goal with 12 seconds to go. And this is the part that I have a problem with. Joe Burrow finds A.J. Green at the 3, or from the 3-yard line on 1st and goal at the 3. With 12 seconds left, he rolls out, finds A.J. Green. A.J. Green pushes off, brings in the pass for a touchdown. It is nullified for offensive pass interference. Now, the this is where I have the problem here. Is this was not called all game? Was it a pass interference? Yes, it was. I'm not debating. He pushed off. It was clear. My problem is you haven't called it all game. They have called, there was a couple, they were letting them play throughout this game where there was hand checking back and forth. To me, that's a bad call. The officials did make a couple bad calls throughout the game. A couple of the calls on Jesse Bates I thought were bullcrap. The 2 hits on Jesse Bates, what's the guy supposed to do? And those were ridiculous calls that aided the Chargers in moving forward and putting points up on the board. But again, that's not why the Bengals lost. So, the pass interference call to AJ Green I thought was a little bit ridiculous. It was not something that I felt should have been called in that situation when it hadn't been called all game. However, the Bengals had a chance to tie the game, and Randy Bullock on a 31-yard attempt pushed it, and he ended up getting hurt. I guess pulled his quad, something. But it's typical for this for the Cincinnati Bengals and Cincinnati sports fan. That we can't have anything nice, plain and simple. Overall, I'm still, I am a little flustered about the game and how everything played out. But again, it is what it is. This team, all is not lost with this Bengals football team. They will be obviously much better than 2-14. Plain and simple, the swagger that is brought on by Joe Burrow is enough, and you're going to see that continue to blossom as we move forward in this season. However, this is a tough one, a tough pill to swallow, in a game that I felt that the Bengals should have won, and I had picked them coming into it, but unfortunately it is what it is. So with that being the case, the Bengals start off 0-1, and now they travel to Cleveland to take on a Cleveland Browns team that looked absolutely horrendous today against the Baltimore Ravens. But again, Cincinnati Bengals, I see a lot of positivity here. I truly do. I'm not just saying that just to blow sunshine and smoke up everyone's butt here, because I did like what I saw from Joe Burrow today. It's just a matter of, once that experience comes into play, it's going to be interesting to see how he continues to blossom. The dude's got swagger. He doesn't let things bother him that you would expect from other rookie quarterbacks. And you saw that on the final drive where that moxie just truly came into play and helped. He helped lead the Bengals down for a game-winning drive that could have played out how we wanted had that penalty flag not been thrown on that. But again, if it was thrown, so you had a chance to kick a field goal, and of course, because we can't have anything nice, like I said, that Randy Bullock, he ends up pulling his quad or whatever, like I said, or calf on that field goal attempt. So a couple things. One, I want to say I hope Drew Tranquill. I hope the best for a speedy recovery for him. That was a nasty injury in the first quarter. I felt truly bad for the guy. You could see how distraught he was. You hate seeing something like that. So hopefully he will. Hopefully he'll get a full recovery. And you want to see a guy come back after all the hard work you put in the offseason, to have it go away just a couple plays into your season. That's tough. So. And obviously, Randy Bullock, hopefully nothing too serious on that injury as well. And it's tough. But again, all is not lost. I will be back next week as the Bengals will be taking on the Cleveland Browns on Thursday Night Football on national TV. So make sure you check that out. Other than that, thank you guys so much as always for tuning in as I'm back again for another another season of this. Hopefully every single game's not going to be as rough as this one was. So, hopefully things will turn around and go the Bengals' way as we move forward in the Joe Burrow era. So, as always, thank you guys so much for your support. Make sure you check out the website, FeelTheImpactSports. I am losing it. My goodness gracious. That's the old website. It is ImpactSportsCincinnati.wordpress.com. Again, that is ImpactSportsCincinnati.wordpress.com. Make sure you check out the site as we move forward into the into the season, we'll have game previews coming up. Obviously, things going on here with kids sports. It's been a little tough. But make sure you check out the website there. As always, follow me on Twitter at I am Chris Asbrock and at ISCincy on Twitter as well. And for any of your fitness needs, make sure you check out fnxfit.com, fnxfit.com, and use the promo code BDiesel for 15% off your purchase. Again, that is fnxfit.com, and use the promo code BDiesel for 15% off of your purchase. Thank you guys as always. I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of your week. Again, do not hang your heads. Things will be much, 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 much better. As I can promise you, it will not be this rough as it does seem like it will be, but it will not, I promise. So thank you guys as always for your support, and have yourselves a fantastic rest of your day and a fantastic work week. And I will see you back next week as I will recap the Bengals and Browns from Thursday Night Football. Take care, everybody.